All right, good day, plant people. I thought I would talk today about a tree that I particularly love in our landscape. We put them in 2.5 years ago. We bought them from Fast Growing Trees. I'll provide a link below so you can have an option to purchase them if you would like. We got them and they were about 12 inches tall, not very tall at all, but they are the Thuja green giant Arborvitae, and as you can see, some of them are approaching 9 foot now. I'm really impressed with them. So here's a good view of the growth habit so far. The winter in Ohio last year was particularly mild, but we had a day in I think it was late March, it had been really warm that winter. So I was planting some hydrangeas actually in January, and it had gotten so warm, these trees continued to grow quite a bit. And in March or April, we had a really, really bad freeze. And so this one right here in particular suffered quite a bit of die-off. You can see that it is still quite alive. I'm giving it a chance to come back. We'll see how it does this winter, and if not, I have an extra right here that I'll replace it with. So one thing I would recommend for these trees is to put them on drip. They've been on drip ever since I put them in. Initially they were on some spray drip emitters, so my irrigation is actually connected to my sprinkler system, so I have two different lines here. One provides water to my mini orchard, which will be a different video, and then one provides water to the Arborvitae. When we originally put these trees in, I had 180-degree spray emitters, and I would run those for 30 minutes every couple of days just to make sure they got an adequate amount of water. And I did that for 2 years. And this year, because the trees were getting so large and they were about to start touching, the spray emitters were no longer working. So I decided to put in just drip emitters. You can buy the 18-inch spacing drip emitters, and that's what I used here. So I ripped all that out and put in this new tubing, which has allowed their roots to kind of grow a little further and get more acclimated to the soil. So one thing I just really love about these trees are, first, their growth rate. Our home faces east and west, and we get a lot of wind, terrible amount of wind, and then we have a highway just right there. So the wind on the back porch is particularly bad, along with the road noise, and so I planted these in anticipation of them growing up and blocking some of that wind and providing us some nice privacy. There's a bank back here as well as a veterinarian office, so we're hoping they'll provide some privacy. I'm expecting them to actually begin to touch next year. As you can see, this one in particular is probably approaching 9 foot tall. It's kind of incredible how quickly they've grown. But also, if you know anything about Arborvitae, they have this beautiful smell to them. So if you brush up against them and crush the fronds in your hands, it has this great evergreen smell that you'll just absolutely love. So I have had particular issue with them bronzing in winter. Some evergreens do that. You can read online and they will say that these do not do it, but particularly in our Ohio Zone 6, where winters have been particularly bad, they do brown out a little bit, but they do come back in the spring quite beautifully and turn green again. So I wanted to give you guys an overview of how I set these out. So the highway runs over there, and then we have the veterinarian's office and then the bank. And so we lined our property just to right here so we could keep a nice view of the open water retention area and space back there and not completely block in the property. But that will allow the wind, which comes from this direction, to be blocked off a little bit and allow us to spend more time outside and not have to worry about stuff blowing off the porch. We've had significant issues with pots and containers getting blown over. I have a tree that I bring out every year, a ficus, and it's been blown over just from the very, very rough winds we have. So I'm hoping these will help. It may be a few years before that happens, but I'm excited when that time comes because it'll mean I can set more things outside without worrying about it falling over and getting damaged with high winds. As you can see, I line the beds of this tree line with this coal metal edging you can get from Lowe's. I will do a complete review video on this edging. I don't love it for Ohio winters because it tends to come out of the ground with our frost heave cycles in the winter, the freeze and thaw. And so I expect within the next year, when these trees start to go over the line, I will end up removing this edging. My intentions actually in the coming years, when I can get a good gauge on how these trees are actually going to get, is to line them with hydrangeas. So I'm going to have the trees and then limelight hydrangeas in front of it, and that'll probably come, you know, maybe 6 feet more out into the yard. But I'm really excited. I would like to get that started as soon as possible, but you will learn quickly that Matthew struggles with spacing. So I tend to put stuff too close together because I'm excited of how full it's going to look, and you know, sometimes it ends up in things being moved. So I don't want to go purchase a bunch of hydrangeas, and I'd probably need at least 30 of them, and just, you know, have to dig any of those up and move, or dig all of them up and move them further out if the trees are getting too big and encroaching on the hydrangeas. So we're going to probably wait a couple more years, see how it goes, allow them to fill in a little more, and at least form a nice hedge before I get any more ideas like that in mind. So this past year, originally when we planted them, I put down weed suppressant fabric, and I was finding that they were growing so quickly, and that when I went and looked this spring, the trunks were becoming girdled where the weed suppressant fabric had been laid over to keep weeds out. So I went about pulling that up this year, and I think it may have set them back because some of the roots were entangled a little bit in the weed suppressant fabric, but they recovered quite well. When I purchased 26, you're probably thinking, Matthew, that is a lot of holes to dig. And yes, it was. So what we did was we went to Harbor Freight and purchased a auger, and we dug the 25, 26 holes at that time, and it actually went very quickly, even though our soil's pretty poor. And after we got those dug, I planted them with some hollytone and some other organic fertilizer and added in some nice compost, and they have just thrived. So these trees grow 3 to 5 feet a year, and you think, you know, that's not possible. And most trees, when you place in the ground, they will get a slow start. And I can honestly say they grew at least 3 feet their first year. Like I said, they've been in the ground since April 2018. That's two and a half years. So they had 3 full seasons, including their first season, and some of them are this tall. So we planted these trees roughly 5 foot apart on center. And what center means is you just set the pot down, you measure from the center of the pot to the center of the next pot, and that's where we planted them. That was the recommended distance. If you wanted them to touch a little quicker, you could plant them closer, but these trees do get quite large. I'm not anticipating them to obviously get their full size since we planted them this close together, but eventually they will make a nice screening hedge for us. They're very disease resistant. They're a fairly new tree in that they've been around at least 50 years. Because these trees, while they're not native here, I believe they were originally bred in Denmark. However, they are hardy from zones 5 to 9. We are in zone 6, so they should do quite well, and that means they will cover most of the United States. So whether you live in Ohio like I do, or you live in the Southeast and you want privacy, that's a great option. One other option other than buying them online I have seen recently is you can actually look on Facebook Marketplace. I have seen people selling tiny cuttings of them that are already rooted. They may not be as big as the ones I started with, 12 to 18 inches tall, but they are certainly almost a foot tall. And they'll be anywhere from $7 to $10 a piece. And if that's the route you're looking at, I would certainly recommend it. It's a way to save a little money. That way you can spend the extra savings on drip irrigation so they can reach their potential as quickly as possible. As far as this browning, you'll notice some of the trees, as I mentioned, suffered quite a bit of damage from this last winter. So I've not cut out any of the brown this year. I was wanting to see how they recovered, and in the spring I anticipate any of the brown that is left that I will just cut out. Thank you guys for joining me today. I was excited to share this tree specifically with you because when I was looking at fast growing privacy trees, I had a hard time online finding anything about these, and I love being able to watch a plant grow. So if you follow my channel, you'll be able to see how quickly these grow next year. I anticipate that they'll be touching by the end of the season. I mean, look how close those are already. So follow along. We'll see how it goes. All right, people, if you have any more questions or comments, drop them below and I'll answer them. And remember, in a world full of hate, be a light. Bye, guys.